This is a key. And keys open locks. However, you're not supposed to get this key until the last level. Also, you are not supposed to get the pistols in Lara's home until the 3rd game. But you can with the help of some tiny modifications. In this video, I will show you the basics of such modifications in 3 simple steps. You can find the links of the tools we need in the description below. Step 1. Tomb Raider Viewer. We need the following movables: Lara's pistols animation, Lara's pistols, pistol ammo, key 1, muzzle fire or gun flare, and the sprites for the pistols and the key 1. First we open Assault.tr2 with Tomb Raider Viewer and go to the movables section. We immediately notice this level has a shotgun animation, as well as a flare animation, but the only pickup we have here is the single flare Lara can throw. We also find the flares box from the inventory and the lock 1, but no key. Keep in mind that just importing the key won't open the door. We'll have to add a trigger as well. Every level featuring Lara's pistols also feature the corresponding muzzle fire, but in Lara's home, there's only the flare fire. In the sprites list, we'll find several objects, from the secrets to effects like the splash, explosion and bubbles, and pickups like the flares box, but no keys or weapons. So, we need to extract them from somewhere. I choose boat.tr2 because it has everything we need for this mod. We go to Movables, right-click Lara's pistol animation, and save it in the Tomb Raider movable file format in a folder we can remember, so we can import them to our target level later. Don't worry if the meshes from the animation don't match the Lara of your target level. You can modify them later. Now we scroll down to find Lara's pistols from the inventory and save it like we did before. Also the ammo, even if we never get to see it or use it in the actual game. It exists for a reason and it's featured in every level containing the pistols, so we'll include it at least for consistency's sake. When exporting the gun flare, make sure you select the normal, small one, and not the large one, spiky. The latter is only used by the M16 weapon, so unless you are planning to import that weapon to your target level, it's better left alone. The last movable we export is the key 1 model from the inventory. If you select another numbered key, it won't show in the inventory even after you pick it up. Now we go to the sprites menu and save the pistols and key 1 in the Tomb Raider sprite file format. Remember to save the right key number. Lock 1 will not accept any other key that is not key 1. Likewise, key 1 will only work with lock 1. We close the donor level and go back to our target level. Right-click the movables list and choose Import from .trmvb and select Lara's pistols animation. This will allow Lara to draw her pistols once she gets them and not get stuck in an awkward animation. Right-click again and import the pistols. This will allow us to see and select the pistols in the inventory. Keep in mind that we still need to import the pistols sprite to our level. Next, the pistols ammo, even if we normally won't see it in the inventory. Now we import the gun flare, otherwise the fire from the pistols will be displayed as Lara's hips. At last, we import the key 1, to match lock 1. Now, we import the sprites for the pistols and the key 1. Once we're done, we can save our level. I choose the data folder in the default installation path for convenience, but you can save it elsewhere, as long as you remember to move it to your installation folder if you want to play it. Tomb Raider Viewer will ask if you want to keep the unused textures. I suggest choosing yes, otherwise the animated sprites may glitch out. Step 2. FexInspect. With FexInspect we can find the values we need to modify items and triggers later in Tomb Raider mod. Because this video is also about learning Tomb Raider mod, we won't be using Tomb Raider item or FexInspect SK. We open or modified assault.tr2 with FexInspect and scroll down to room 55, Lara's room. Here we find a 2D and 3D representation of Lara's room and the objects it contains. Next we click the lock item. In this column, we see that it's listed with the number 22, whereas the door is listed with the number 21. The numbers listed here should not be confused with the object ID. The object ID is the number the game assigns to a certain asset regardless of its presence in a level. That means missing objects imported with Tomb Raider Viewer all retain their original IDs. For example, the object ID for the key 1 will always be 193. For the pistols, 135. Back to FexInspect. We go to room number 57, Lara's attic. The key will be placed on top of this middle block. Now we go to room number 60, Lara's closet. Notice it looks different than the room from the finale. This is where the pistols will be placed. It's possible to change the geometry of the room to match Home Sweet Home, but right now we're only covering the basics. Step 3, Tomb Raider mod. Navigate to the binaries folder and open the folder that corresponds to your operating system. We'll paste our modified assault.tr2 file here. We need to create a new text file in Notepad to store the commands we need. This one will be named items.bat. Next, we create another file called triggers.bat. Now we edit items.bat file and type the following command: TRMOD, followed by our level file. Add item. Object ID. The room number. The coordinates X, Z, and Y, angle. Intensity 1. Intensity 2. And flags. These last 4 values are standard. Let's not worry about them for now. Coordinates are calculated from the left and bottom corners of the room. On the 2D map we see sectors represented as squares or blocks. Each block is 1024 long and wide. Therefore, we need to count the borders starting from the edge. The first border inside the room will be 1024, the second border 2048, and so on until we reach the middle of the 5th column. That will be the value of the X coordinate. We repeat the process to calculate the Z coordinate. 1024, 2048, 3072, 4096, 5120, and 5.5 times 1024 equals 5632. The height is calculated by the number of clicks, with each representing 1/4 of 1024 or 256. The block is 6 clicks tall, and 6 times 256 equals 1536. We repeat the same process to add the pistols. Here the coordinates X and Z are exactly the same, because the room consists of a single block. The height is 0, because the item sits at ground level. After we save our commands, we open triggers.bat in Notepad and type the following command: TRMOD, followed by our level file. Replace floor data, room number, column number, and row number of the sector where the lock 1 is located, followed by the floor data composed by trigger and the trigger conventions. Trigger type: timer 0 by default, only once, false by default, mask 31 by default, and trigger action. The trigger type value key, 22 means that this trigger will be activated when a key is inserted into item 22, lock 1. The timer value 0 means this trigger won't expire. The only once false value means using the lock again should reset the trigger, but you can't use the lock again because the key is consumable, so it's irrelevant. The last value, object 21, means the purpose of the trigger is to make object 21, the door, perform an action, in this case, opening. We can finally save our file and run our commands. Notice how running the commands alters the modification date of assault.tr2. This is an indicator that changes have been made. Now we must move our modified assault.tr2 back to our data folder so we can test how it runs.
Welcome back.
There's the key. So far, so good. However, we must go to Lara's room, verify that the key is able to open Lara's closet door successfully. And there it is. Now we can carry on and modify meshes and room geometry, but I think it's better to cover that in another video. Please let me know any questions you may have in the comments section. Thanks for watching.